Hi guys! Today's video will be about blowouts and how to avoid them. And I guess most of you know what blowouts are, but I thought for the beginners with stick and poke who's just started, I can tell you what blowouts are and start with the first tip to avoid blowouts. So, if you have a tattoo line, there you go. It doesn't matter if you do it with machine or stick and poke. Blowouts mean you've got a blurry shadow next to your line. So, okay, not white, but show you with blue. So normally you have your line, but next to your line is a blurry shadow. And that's because mostly you've gone too deep. We've got our three, I hope you can see this, 3 layers of skin. And normally we go into the second layer with our needle. So if you poke your needles in, you're normally in this layer. So you've got the ink within the needle and you transport it into this layer and hopefully here it stays. If you go too deep, like going into this layer, the ink can spread out. The problem is, in this layer the ink stays normally quite clear where you've poked it in, because the cells, they take the ink and they capsule it, so they make close-ups around the ink, and that's why it stays here where it should stay. If you are in the third layer, the ink can go everywhere. It can spread out like mad. And normally you would have only, if you look upwards on the line, you normally would just have the ink where you've poked it. So normally only this part would be a line, and if you look upwards on it, like here for example, you only can see the line. But if you go deeper or too deep, the ink will spread next to the line, and then you've got this blurry shadow next to your line. It shouldn't be the whole line a blowout. Mostly the tattoos I've seen, and sometimes it happens to me too when I've got scars, the tattoos only got on few pieces of the line, they've got blowouts and not the whole line along. But yeah, that's the way how blowouts, or what blowouts are, and how they normally start to blow out. And so this is just the first thing: never go too deep. So if you want to avoid blowouts, please try not to go too deep. And not going too deep means with stick and poke you normally can feel how deep you go, and the best way you can hear it. When you stick the needle into your skin, it's this plop. It goes, I don't know if you can hear it now on the video, but it's a really, really lovely small plop, 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 plop. All the time the needle goes in and out. With the out, there's the plop, normally. If you go too deep, you can hear the plop too, but then you can feel that you are quite deep in. Pulling out takes longer until it plops. So, yeah. First tip is don't go too deep. And the second one, I had to learn it on the hard way, because when I started tattooing I thought, okay, I'm gonna save some money, and so I bought cheap ink that is not very intelligent. And the reason for it is not only because you never know what is in this ink, and you don't know if you're going to be allergic to it or something else, any reaction to it that's not really helpful for your tattoo and your health. But the second point is, I learned on the hard way. Here is again our 3 layers. I thought when I did my first stick and poke, or my first tattoo at all, I thought I've gone too deep. And because I had a blowout, and I was quite sad about it, because I thought I thought it gone quite good, but yeah, at the end I had this blowout, not a big one, but it annoyed me. So I thought, okay, I've gone too deep. But my companion, a good friend of me, who's a tattoo artist, and he had a look at it and he said, okay, come on, pick some lines on my leg, and I can tell if you're going too deep or not. And I didn't. But he had a look at my ink, and with my ink the problem is you go in, oh, it's always too deep. Okay, you go in with a needle, there, you should go only to there, not till the end. And you've got this cheap ink, and normally there you've got your cells, your structure of your skin, and in this layer the structure is very close up, always here and here too, but I'm too lazy to draw it all. And if you've got your ink, it goes in with a needle, yeah, it normally stays here between all the cells and the structure of your skin. But if you've got cheap ink, you can have the problem, every ink is different pigmented, so you've got these pigments in it that makes it coloured. And for black, the pigments are quite small. For white, they're much bigger. That's why white is quite hard to tattoo. And if you've got this black ink and they are too small, they're not staying here with the cells where they should stay for your tattoo. They are too small and they go out. So you've got a blowout, even if you go too deep, but you've got a blowout in the second layer, which is even more annoying, because you could have avoided it if you haven't used this ink. That's what annoyed me especially, because yeah, it's not because I've gone too deep, it's because I've used this cheap ink, and this ink really tends to blow out. And I guess it's because it's pigmented deep to small, so the ink can go between all the cells and spread out, and yeah. So second is, don't buy cheap ink. Even if you want to save money, it's absolutely not the best idea. And the third is, and that's something I had to learn, because I learned first with machine, and then I swapped over to stick and poke. If you have a tattoo line, if you poke a line, the people say use the right angle. And of course they mean an angle. So if you've got the skin, that's the skin, and that's your needle, you should go in an angle, yeah, I think it's an ankle, like this. So you poke in the ink like that, and second poke is here, maybe third one is here. So that looks nothing special, but if you look upwards on it, that's hard to draw, I think. If you look upwards on it now, you've got this line, okay, try like this, and you poke like that, it's like foop, foop. You see? If you poke like that, okay, that's not really good now, because I've got a pencil or a pen, so you can see the difference. If you go in, now I use a 45-degree angle, but if you go in like that, your lines will be definitely better than if you go in with a 90-degree. With a 90-degree, you have to go in like that to get the same effect than if you go in with an angle. Okay, that's only for line work, but now there's the clue. The angle is not only about having good lines, it's about having, don't have blowouts, because, so you've got your line, you poke your line, okay, like that, and you see, I've got the line and I've got the pen with the line, and that's how the needle should be. And now, if you poke like that into the skin, you see? If you poke like that into the skin, because you're not following the line that you want to poke, you're going in a wrong angle to it, you've got dots. You've got dots in the first layer. So here you are with the layers again. So you've got your needle and you poke it in with the line. So that's our skin now, the 3 layers, and we would go like this up and down for our line. So the first poke goes into the line with the line. But if you poke like I just have shown you like this, the needle will go in like that, and the people, when they look on your tattoo, they can see later this part here, the normal dot here, there you are, the normal dot, and in the second layer there's a shadow next to the dot. You understand? I hope you understand, because I don't know how to explain it in another way. So normally you go with the line, poke with the line. If you do it wrong and you poke in an angle 45 degrees but not with the line, then you've always have these blur that you can see here now. When you look on your tattoo, then this part is black where you poked in, yeah? And everything next to it will be like a blowout, because the first layer of your skin heals, and that's why when your tattoo heals, here is the ink that stays in. So when your tattoo heals, this is the ink that stays in, and the first layer of your skin, this ink will fade. That's why tattoos fade normally. And this ink will fade. So when the people look on your tattoo, if you do it right, they will see this, 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 this. From upwards, it's perfect black line. If you do it wrong, in the wrong angle, they will see this, and next to it, this, 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 this. Always a little bit lighter than the first one, because this goes deeper and you've got more skin over it that lightens it up. You see? So you've got a black point for your line, and next to your line you've got a little bit lighter point, or a little bit lighter, 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 and it looks like if you have your line and next to it these zone of a blowout. It's not a real blowout, as I said. It's yeah, it's a pseudo blowout, because blowouts are normally if the color blows out. Here it hasn't blown out. Here it's your fault because of the wrong angle. It goes next to the line into the skin, and then later on you have your line, what you can see, and then you have next to your line this blowout zone. Yeah, I hope this helped you, and if you've got any questions, write down in the comments. I will be happy to answer them. I hope my explanation was good enough, and my drawing. yeah, and I think I'll see you in the next video, and I don't know, what is it called? I always forget this word. Press on the button to see all the next videos. Would love to help you with your stick and poke. Okay, that's for now and for today, so bye bye.